Hello, I'm Z, and welcome back to Starcraft Remastered. Now, last time, we had completed the original Starcraft Terran campaign, aka also known as Episode 1. And now, I will shortly recap what happened in Episode 1 in case you missed it. Essentially, we follow the story of Jim Raynor and Arcturus Mengsk, two very important people. Jim Raynor is an outlaw right now, because of what he did. But first, before he went and became an outlaw, he was, kind of an outlaw towards the Confederate, which was the main Terran system of ruling system. And the Confederate was a bit, stingy, and they didn't really care about people. And Jimmy really didn't like that. So, he rebelled a couple of times. He teamed up with some people called the Sons of Korhal, whose leader was Arcturus Mengsk. And they got along really well. Until he met Sarah Kerrigan, a girl that he actually fell in love with. She knew because she's a psychic. But they went on a mission, and Mengsk essentially left Kerrigan to die on that planet, to the Zerg. And that didn't really sit right with Jimmy, so he left Mengsk, and he tried to essentially sabotage him. But to no avail, Mengsk still got his empire after defeating the Confederate, and now it is under the rule of the Confederate, no, not the Confederate, of the Mengsk Empire. So, that was a pretty bad recap, but it was the best I could do. Now we're moving on to the Zerg campaign. The first look at essentially the Zerg and how they actually work. So let's get right into that. Zerg campaign. Overmind. The swarms? No, there's no Z there. The swarms have crushed the meager human resistance and laid waste to 9 of the 13 Terran worlds. Shortly after the fall of the Terran capital world of Tarsonis, the main Protoss fleet abandoned the Terran sector. Now efforts continue on Tarsonis to weed out the remaining Protoss forces. Among the ruins.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Behold that I shall set you amongst the greatest of my cerebrates, that you might benefit from their wisdom and experience. Yet your purpose is unique. While they carry forth my will to the innumerable broods, you have but one charge entrusted to your care. For I have found a creature that may yet become the greatest of my agents. Even now, it resides within a protective chrysalis, awaiting its rebirth into the swarm. You must watch over the chrysalis and ensure that no harm comes to the creature within it. Go now, and keep safe my prize.
Alright, that was the Hivemind. A gigantic eyeball, essentially, that thinks. Real smart. Objectives. Create a spawning pool, create a Hydralisk then, and protect the chrysalis. Pretty simple. So let's start.
The hatchery is the heart of any Zerg colony. It spontaneously generates larvae, which in turn are used to spawn your various warriors and minions. Now, create a drone and start gathering resources.
So, how it worked before is you would go on your base here and select it and make some SCVs. You see like here. But it doesn't quite work out that way here. First of all, you can unlock burrow, which is for some other units. You can't fly your base with the Zerg. But you select larvae. You see these little critters here in front of the base? Right. You don't just create stuff out of the base. You create stuff out of these larvae that come out of the base every now and then, you know? So let's say I want a morph drone. There we go. One has started morphing into a drone. Say I need overlords. Morph into an overlord.
Require more minerals.
You understand how it works, right? Pretty simple, in my opinion. And these drones are just SCVs, essentially. But hear that sound that...
Provide control for your minions. As your forces grow in number, you must hatch more overlords to control them. You have enough minerals. Select a lava and mutate it into an overlord.
So, what an overlord is...
Create new warrior strains. You must generate the various hive structures. The drones themselves mutate into these structures. Yet be careful. Never use your last drone to make a building. Now, order your drone to become a spawning pool.
Before I did that...
Notice that structures can only implant themselves upon the creep. You can make creep colonies to extend the creep, but only a hatchery can be built upon open ground.
Thank you. By the way, the thing that's talking is another cerebrid, like me. Essentially, a part of the hive that can just think and command things. I'm not gonna say I like him, he's very annoying, but... What overlords are, is... They are supply depots. Overlords allow you to build more units over here. So, it's quite interesting how... On the Zerg part, there isn't a building that allows you to build more units. It's an actual movable object, or not object, but creature. And it's also a detector. It's like the science vessel. Now, as I explained, this thing, the Zerg creep colony, makes this weird mass on the ground. That's the creep on the ground. And we have to build that kind of stuff. And you see, before drones, SCVs could just build stuff. With the Zerg, it doesn't quite work that way. What you do is instead you morph the actual drone into something. So it uses its own body to create said structure. And now he was saying to make a spawning pool, which I'll make after the extractor, which is also a building you need to make out of the actual drone. And this thing here that I made should like spread, you know. And these always creep me out as a child. You can tell because, I mean, all of these graphics. Look at it, how cool they look down here in the picture portrait. This one it looked really different before, like this. The drone not really, but the overlords too. Yeah, it's a bit different. There is some difference, so I'm just pointing it out. There we go. We got. I'm gonna put these two in there. And now you go and mutate into a spawning pool. Now, what a spawning pool allows you to do is it allows you to make Zerglings. These little creatures that you've seen so much while playing the Terran campaign. They're quite powerful. Quite powerful, especially in like early before anyone has any units. It's where the term Zerg Rush comes from. You see how many things I just took out with these Zerglings? It's insane. And yeah, you might notice that even the Vespene gas looks different because Zerg harvested in a different form than humans do. And it displays up here as well. You see, there's a different UI for the Zerg Vespene gas. The spawning pool is still morphing, so we'll have to wait. There we go. And here you can also get upgrades for a specific unit that you unlock with said building. Like, you know, Zergling moving faster, which I'll take. We'll make some more Zerglings. And if I remember correctly, does one egg of Zerglings make 2 of them? Or was that like in Starcraft 2? I don't remember.
I am Zaz. I too am a cerebrate of the Overmind. I have located a small band of Terrans who could threaten the chrysalis and the hive cluster. You must not allow them to leave here alive.
Alright. So yes, Terrans. We have to beat the Terrans. And as you might see, this is damaged. Except with the Zerg, you don't repair it. It repairs itself over time. You can't actively set anyone to repair it because it's an organic building. Now I'll make an evolution chamber over here for some upgrades. I'll make some more Zerglings, and I'll make as well as a Hydralisk then. Now Hydralisks are possibly one of the most fun and unique and just iconic Zerg units. I was gonna say characters, but that's not quite right. Oh, and Zerg themselves heal over time. Their HP heals, which is impressive, I'll say. And yes, Zerglings do pop out like two squad at a time. Evolution chamber, make the carapace better. I can. Alright, more minerals. Need those minerals. Right. Hydralisks. One of my favorites. But I do need more people to work on the mineral part, so. Let's, for now, send our Zergling army. Actually, no, we'll keep this smaller one and we'll send this one. Man, you see that attack speed? It is something. Look at that. This small squad of Zerglings that I had was able to take out essentially a decently good Terran army. Okay. Let's make some more drones. That's too bad. Yeah, I can defend it forever. No, you're not. No, you're not. Now, what you might see is these things are quite useless, right? These colonies, they just spread the dirt around, essentially. This morphing dirt. And while that's true, it's also not at the same time. Because of one specific thing. After you unlock a Hydralisk, then, or I think actually no, an evolution chamber, you can evolve them into sunken colonies, which are one of my favorite things to play with. And if they attack again, I'll show you why. Let's make some Hydralisks, you know. We have some actual units. Evolve Burrow. Actually, no, don't evolve Burrow. We don't need Burrow on this one. Evolve Carapace, probably. And probably shooting range. There we go, we got some Hydralisks. Might make some more Zerglings. Look at this new graphic for the Hydralisk down here, and look at the old one. It's so much different. It's so different. Now you see these sunken colonies I've evolved, and they look a bit different. They look interesting though. I'll show you once they attack. Actually, I might be able to just attack something. Yeah, you see? It just like it throws a spike through the floor here, and it attacks whatever I said it to attack. It's interesting. It's like a bunker, but it operates on its own. I love explaining this kind of stuff. I love it. It's just so much fun. No larva. I might as well build another hatchery, and I don't have enough. Okay. Which one? Not that one. This one. Okay. Essentially, I'm gonna have an Hydralisk army and a Zergling army. Okay. Zerglings, we need some of those. Oh, no, Zerglings go on ahead. There we go. Look at that damage. But you can tell that they're trying to show that the Zerg are quite strong right from the start, because they're throwing Goliaths at me. First mission. That is quite something, huh? I think I'm just gonna retreat for now. I don't think I can take their base. I'm just gonna build some more stuff though. Faster Hydros, I think I want. And I want another hatchery. Hydralists are quite strong. I'm gonna try and finish this mission within this episode. Just not drag anything out, you know? Alright. These guys are slowly healing. That's fine.
Evolution complete.
That's faster Hydros? Yeah, that's quite good. W. In case you're wondering how I'm pressing stuff, by the way, even though I'm not actually pressing these buttons, there's shortcuts like Q here, you see? Essentially, I have a custom one where I set every single one of these shortcuts to essentially, this is Q, W, E, so you know, in the order of the keyboard. It's like I have like a, it's kind of like a numpad just on my keyboard, you know? That's the idea of it. I'm gonna build one more set of Hydralisks, and then I think I'll go attack their base. I don't think they have any other base, it's just this one, so it should be quite simple. Our objective should have changed to destroy the Terran encampment, yeah. And this chrysalis over here is what we're protecting. We haven't seen much of it yet, but you see that it's a living thing. And I'm pretty sure if you grab a drone, they can actually pick it up and move it, yeah. It's quite impressive. We're gonna be using that picking up and moving thing later in missions, but come on, let's rush a bit so we get this done before I'm out of time. I did explain a lot of stuff, so... Yeah, but Zerglings are way faster than Hydralisks, even with the upgrades. Man, they're strong. The Zergs are strong. And it's interesting because they play very differently from the Terran. That's really what's unique about this game, is how everything plays so differently from one another. It's just like you have a complete different playstyle. Is that all? No, there's some more up this way, I think. Is this it? Not quite. There's some... Oh yeah, there is. There is. Okay. Well, we are victorious. We'll now actually see the screen for victory here. It looks very cool in the remaster. Before, it looked like this. If you could see it past that. Anyways. Remnants of the Confederacy. So these weren't actually the Sons of Korhal. Nonetheless, you know, we did well. Aggression. Now, I'm gonna cancel here. I'm gonna go back to the main screen. I know. But I am gonna just leave it here, since I don't want to, like, continue anything. We're already at 20 minutes, it's fine. So, if you enjoyed this episode, leave it a like. Have an awesome rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow.